Well, you seem to be taking a position which we would categorize as being very materialistic and very mechanistic, that the brain is nothing more than a machine or a computer.
It is actually a computer, but we are not ready to accept it. For centuries, we have been made to believe that there is an entity, there is an I, that there is a self, that there is a psyche, that there is a mind, and so on.
A soul, so to speak,
soul,
or spirit. Mm-hmm.
If you accept the fact, it may not be a fact to you. We may not accept it. You will most probably reject it, and most people will not hesitate to reject that there is no such a thing as a soul, and soul is created by the thinking of man.
Well, we have many words for things that are intangible. We talk about love or honesty or integrity as if they were real objects, and yet they're not objects so much as qualities or processes.
I'm afraid we are drifting away from the basic question. Mm-hmm. If you do not want a thing, is there a thinking? Wanting and thinking go together. And thought is matter, you see. So you use thought to achieve either material or spiritual goals. But unfortunately, we place the spiritual goals in a higher level and consider ourselves to be very superior to those who use the thought to achieve material goals. So actually, whether you call it spiritual or material, even the so-called spiritual values are materialistic in their values. So it is matter. Thought is matter. And as I said at the very beginning, thought is not a creator of thought. It is responding to the stimuli.
In effect,
so what is there is only the stimulus and response. Even the fact that there is a response to the stimulus is something which cannot be experienced by us except through the help of thought, which creates a division between the stimulus and response. Actually, the stimulus and response is a unitary movement. You can't even say that there is a sensation, and you have no way of experiencing even the so-called sensations we think we experience them all the time cannot be experienced by us except through the knowledge we have of the sensations.
And we infer from all of this that there is a self, that there is a mind that is mediating between the stimulus and the response.
What is there is only the knowledge we have of the self, the knowledge that we have gathered from or passed on to us from generation to generation. And through the help of this knowledge, we create what we call self, and then experience self as separate from the functioning of this body. Mm-hmm. So is there such a thing as a self? Is there such a thing as I? For me, the only I is the first person singular pronoun. I use I to make the conversation simpler and call you you and I, but there is simply what we call I is only a first person singular pronoun. I don't know if we...
It's a part of speech.
Yes. Uh-huh. Other than that, is there any such thing as I? Is there any such thing as a self? Is there any such entity different from the functioning of this living organism? Mm-hmm. See, somewhere along the line of evolution, I can't even make a definitive statement and say that there is such a thing as evolution. But we assume and presume that there is such a thing as evolution. And somewhere along the line, the human species experienced this self-consciousness which doesn't exist in the other species we have on this planet.
I mean, you seem to be suggesting it's a product of our language.
Not necessarily the product of language. See, the very experience of what we call what separates us from the totality of things. The problem is, and that is what I want to emphasize, the whole nature is a single unit. You see, man cannot separate himself from the totality of what we call nature. Unfortunately, through the help of this self-consciousness which occurred somewhere along the line, he accorded to himself a superior place and placed himself on a higher level and treated himself, and we still continue to treat, as superior to the other species of life that we have on this planet. That is the reason why we have created this disharmony. That is why we have created these tremendous problems, ecological problems and other problems. Actually, man, or whatever you want to call him, cannot be separated from the totality of nature. That is where we have created one of the greatest blunders, and that unfortunately is the tragedy of man.
But don't you yourself say at times that there really is no problem, that since we are part of the totality of nature, nothing really is wrong, even if we're doomed?
No, but we are not ready to accept the fact that there is no problem. Actually, there is no problem, but we have only solutions offered to us, and we accept the solutions offered to us by those whom we consider to be in possession of the truth, in possession of the wisdom. And those solutions do not help us to solve the problems at all, you see. So we replace one solution with another solution. The problem is the solution, and the solution has not helped us to solve the non-existing problem. So actually it is the solution that has created the problem, and we are not ready to throw the solution out of the window.